What's up, guys? Dehvin Simms here back with another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about Casco Viejo Panama, and we have a special guest here named Dano. So, Dano, can you actually introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, how you doing, everybody? Good to be back here, Devin. I appreciate it. It's awesome to tell my story and the different places I've traveled to. So I appreciate you having me on again, man.
No problem. It's always an honor to have you on. So, why the
Yes.
interest in Casco Viejo?
Well, one of the things. Well, Panama. So Casco Viejo. It's the old town of Panama. Okay, so that's the original town of, what when Panama was founded and stuff like that. So it has like all of the old cultural buildings in it and so on and so forth. But Panama City is very large now. So Casco is kind of like the heart of Panama. It's like when you walk through there, there's no skyscrapers, there's no modern buildings. It's all old school, different colors, just like a South American city, right? And country. So it's very inviting to anybody, even from the Western culture, because we don't have those type of cultural, architecture, buildings and stuff like that. We don't like. I mean, especially in Canada, we don't have all of these rooftop patios or rooftop bars that are littered with lush green plants and overlooking the water and stuff. It's a completely different world. So when I visited Panama, I went there for 6 months. That was because my main global headquarters for my company is there, so we were launching that and so on and so forth. That's a whole different topic. So that was my mission for going there in the first place, and then from there I started to really just fall in love with the city. So Casco Viejo was about less than a 10-minute cab ride from where I lived in Punta Pacifica, because in Panama there's Casco here, and then the water is literally right there, and then around Casco Viejo you have the little subdivisions, the different little towns, just like you would in any city. You have the different, like southwest, southeast, or little stuff like that. But the culture, I mean, you can literally walk down any street, and it's all cobblestone, just like an old South American, city. And it's kind of like like Colombia and Ecuador, like all those places down there, even Mexico, but a little bit different than Mexico. So when I went there, I wanted to travel around and I wanted to kind of see what Panama was all about. And the first place I wanted to go to was Casco Viejo, and the museums. A lot of the old government buildings are still there. For the politicians and stuff like that. But walking through there, the sounds, just what you see, and even the smells and stuff like that, it's like, wow, this is like, old school stuff. And it really just brought me to a whole different, world. And, growing up in Canada for, the majority of my life, up to about 2 years ago, I just started really, being able to live the lifestyle I wanted. And it was to travel around and see the different countries. So literally being there for 6 months, Devin, I think I probably went to Casco every second day. Like, that's how cool it was. Like, I mean, I would go there and I would, sit on a rooftop bar overlooking the water, seeing the whole new area of Panama City, and even where I lived at the end. And if you were to jump on like a Google map or something like that of Panama City and zoom in or zoom out on a 3D map using Google Maps, you can, really see what I'm talking about when it comes to, the visualization of where you are sitting on a rooftop. So I'd go there and I, just sip some Coronas or, some Panama beer, local beers, and have some, really nice, Panamanian food, or even just South American food in general. And, the time would just fly. And then next thing you know, it's time to go home. So it was really cool to just get away and experience that type of culture, compared to what I was, or most of us are used to, all our lives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like experience. So,
Yeah, it was a whole different world over there. I'm telling you, and that's why people go to these countries, right? To experience, that the cultures and stuff like that, and it's just and the people are just awesome as well. So it's just you just feel like you're at home right away.
So what would you say is the best time of the year to actually travel to Casco Viejo, Panama?
Well, it's hot all year, right? Like I mean, it's right there in the middle of the equator. Like there's no time zone difference. Like I think it's right in the middle. Like I think that's kind of what I remember, that when the time changed in Canada, it never changed in Panama, like because you're right in the middle. If you look at the world map, you have Panama here, in the bottom, and then you have Mexico here, and then you have South America here, and so on and so forth. Then you have the Panama Canal, and that's what the main issue was getting from the Atlantic side to the Pacific side through the Panama Canal. It's the only way through instead of going right around, all of the entire, the world. So that's the easiest route for shipyard for ships going through, and so on and so forth. Um, so, like I mean, at the end of the day, any month was there. I went there in May of last year, and I left in November, and there was like no season change. It was like literally hot the entire time.
Oh wow.
And I talked to a couple friends that I met there, and I asked them. I said, "So how's everything going? Is there a rainy season?" Like, no, like I mean, it rains once in a while, but I mean, because it's right in the middle, it doesn't really get hit with all the different seasons, which is cool. So you can literally go there, whenever you want, Devin. It's hot and beautiful all year round. Like I was, you know, I think I wore jeans 2 days out of the 6 months I was there, and that's only because I went somewhere. It wasn't because it was cold. It's like shorts every day, right?
Man. So how much money do you think is it to actually live in Casco Viejo for getting by? Just simple lifestyle, luxury lifestyle.
Well, Panama City, depending on kind of where you live. So we have to understand that Panama runs off of the U.S. dollar. So and they have like their own stuff as well, with pesos and stuff. But I mean, U.S. dollar is the primary currency there. So it's not as cheap or inexpensive as like Thailand, like I was talking about. But based off of my living in Canada, it's kind of all I can go by. I was probably saving about 30% or 25% of what I was spending in Canada. Or maybe, yeah, maybe about 30%. That's probably fair enough. So if you're somebody who spends $5,000 a month to live with all of your bills, you can probably get away with maybe about, 3 grand, and maybe 3,500, depending on your lifestyle. So you are saving money in these different countries. And there's it depends on where you live, because in Casco they have like the older type areas where you can have monthly rent for under $500 a month, and you're just like right there. You just open your doors and you're in the courtyard, and there's restaurants, and there's like mariachi bands rolling around the streets and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all have like rooftop patios that you can just go on and stuff too. So depending on your lifestyle, I would probably say anywhere between uh, 2,000 to 3,000 would be kind of like a minimum, and that's a comfortable life. Compared to like back in Thailand, like our last video, it was more towards like the 1,000 to the 2,000. So then there again, it's another 30 or 40% down, or 50% less of what it is in Panama. And it's really neat to see the different ways of life when it comes to the money and stuff. But and that's the difference. When you're on a U.S. dollar, things tend to be slightly higher compared to somewhere with its own currency. But you can still, like, I mean, if you're getting good pensions and stuff and you wanted to retire somewhere, and Thailand wasn't your thing, Panama would be, an awesome place to retire. It's extremely safe, and you can get away with just living a comfortable lifestyle with that type of income.
Mm. So what would you say is the preferred public transportation there?
Uber. Like, I mean,
Oh
I
wow.
never, yeah, honestly, because I was taking 15-minute, 20-minute Uber rides, and I was paying $3, $4 US. Like honestly, you do it right from the app, right? So the taxis are very, very inexpensive there. Like I took a $2 Uber just to get to the mall, which was less than 7-8 minutes away. $2. Like, I mean, that's preferred. So I mean, based off of you know having a vehicle where you're paying maybe 6, 7, 800 bucks a month, and then you have your insurance 2 or 300 plus fuel is maybe 3 or 400. Let's just say $1,500 a month for a vehicle, or whatever. Maybe 1,000 to 15. I was doing the math on it. I'm like, it's like having your own driver. You just did it right on the app, and they're there. You know where you're going. You know who they are. And I was probably spending, 200 bucks a month, $250 a month total, and I was taking Ubers every day. So that's definitely my preferred, and everybody's preferred as far as I'm concerned. The Uber app.
It kind of makes you wonder as well if they actually have high gas prices or low. I'm thinking maybe low.
I would assume that they're low. I didn't really pay attention to that. I was just happy to get into a taxi for $2. I didn't care about what fuel they were using. I was just like, this is awesome, $2. But yeah, obviously to make up for all that. But one of the things with that is that in the Casco area or Panama alone, or even the Panama City area, these drivers are making short runs. Like, I mean, they're doing quick little 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-minute runs, and they're picking up another one in that area, and they're driving. So they're constantly driving. And that's what I asked. The driver said, how much do you work? And they're like, well, anything you want, but I'm usually, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, depending on how busy it is. And I'm like, are you nonstop? He's like, yeah. Like, I mean, everybody needs transportation, and nobody really likes the public transportation as much because of traffic and stuff like that. So they just jump on the Uber app, and the Uber just takes you around all the main streets and shortcuts and stuff like that to get you where you need to go. So they work a lot, but I would assume the fuel prices are lower than Western civilization.
So what would you say is the everyday food choices people go for when they're there?
Well, I was, I would just eat the regular breakfasts. But I mean, I would eat a lot of proteins, a lot of meats and stuff like that. You have your chorizo sausages, you have your tacos, you have, you
Just
also
like
have,
me.
yeah. Like I love Mexican food. I love, Spanish food in general. But they have a lot of Western foods there as well to cater for a lot of the tourists or people that are living there. But I found that it was, it's almost a lot healthier the way they cook, and what they cook. And ever since I got to Panama, I started, kind of like losing weight. And even coming to Thailand, where I am now, I just continue to lose weight constantly, and have more energy to go to the gym and be more active and live a healthier lifestyle. So getting out of Canada and stuff like that, I've noticed that. So the food of choice is definitely, they're more carnivorous. There's a lot of meat, tacos, all the stuff that you would see, in Mexico and stuff like that is in Panama as well. Plus, they have their own Panama cuisine. They have Panamanian cuisine. I tried that. There's a lot of fish. They eat a lot of fish. Like, I mean, I would walk down the harbor, the pier area there, or ride my bike, and you would see the fishermen coming in because there's this massive fish market. So depending on when you get in, I think they go out at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, all these boats start coming back into the harbor, and the smell is just unbelievable. It's like it's fish market, right? Like it's an overwhelming amount of different smells and stuff like that, and you see all these fishermen bringing in fish, and the fish market is very popular. I would go there and I would eat fresh fish probably 2 or 3 times a week. So between meats and fish, Devin, I think that's probably the choice of foods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man. So how much does the food cost? Is it pretty expensive? About the same as the
Uh,
America?
no, you're
American
probably
food?
looking at half the price. Like, I mean, I like based off, for instance, like I went out and I had an amazing dinner. I had steak, I had appetizers, I had, some drinks, even some pastas and stuff. And I think I spent about, you know, $80 US, but I ordered a lot of food. It was for two of us, and that was probably a $200 dinner back in Canada. So we're probably under 50% of what we would spend on food. Like even the fish I ate is like a whole fish. You know what I mean? It was a snapper, and it was like huge, perfectly, prepared with sides. And I'd pay like, $11 for it. And that's like a 25, 26, maybe even a $30 dish in another restaurant. So eating is very good there as far as the money wise.
Yeah. Oh wow, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So how's the gym culture over there? Is it pretty good? You have some gyms over there.
yeah. So the building that I live in has its own facilities. So every day I try to go hit at least an hour. And a lot of people here. I don't see a lot of like bodybuilders or anything like that. It's you don't see them as often as you would in like America or Canada. But a lot of people are doing the exercising and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, they basically, I would probably say 100% of all the buildings, all the condos that have been built probably in the last 5 years, all have a fitness center in it. Like that's like a typical, amenity here. So when I was doing my searching for where I wanted to live, it had to have a beautiful pool. It had to have a fitness center. It had to have a place where I could relax. It had to have like like a lounge, like where I'm sitting in now. And it's just, it has to have everything I need to just live a nice lifestyle and be happy where I don't have to just travel and go to the gym. I like kind of like easy access, work smarter, not harder type thing. That's my mentality, because we all worked hard for many years. Now it's, work, and I don't work too much anymore, obviously. But when I do want to get on my laptop and stuff like that, I just, I can just work at home, and then I can say, you know what, I feel like going upstairs for a quick, half an hour, or go to the steam room, or go to the pool, or, the sauna, or whatever like that. Right. So it's just right there. I just have to go up a few floors. So the culture for health wise and fitness is abundant here, and it's easy access. They have 24-hour fitness centers everywhere as well, that you can find. So depending on where you live, you can do that. And even in Panama and stuff like that, as far as the fitness and stuff, they have a lot of gyms, and their condos all have fitness centers as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what about the fashion sense there?
The what? Sorry.
The fashion, like the everyday dress up.
Just casual. Like, I mean, in Panama, I mean, I was wearing shirts like this, t-shirt, shorts, shoes, sandals, whatever it was, tank tops. It's like super casual. Like, I mean, there are certain areas of the city, like where I lived in Punta Pacifica, which was, like I said, 10 minutes from Casco. Um, it's considered the more richer area. I lived in the the old Trump Tower. That's where I had my one bedroom condo, and it was like a little village. And you had people walking around with wearing Gucci stuff, and all sorts of designer brands. But you also had a lot of people who just wore casual stuff. So it's kind of a mix. But in the general area like Casco Viejo and stuff, you don't get a lot of the designer wares or anything. It's just people just everyday lives, and it's just wearing anything, because it's really hot there, right? Like it's between 30 to 40 degrees every day. So you're not going to wear jeans every day.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
how's the day life and the nightlife there?
A lot of fun. Like,
That's
I mean, it was like, I mean, obviously when I was there, they had COVID restrictions and stuff. So everything was ending about midnight. That was the curfew. The curfew was midnight. Um, and so everybody would kind of start about, 6 or 7 instead of the 8 or 9. Um, and the nightlife was really cool. Like I said, the rooftop bars, patios, dancing, Spanish music everywhere. Everybody's happy. Everybody's having a good time. And it's just a whole different feeling there. You know what I mean? When you feel the energy from just the locals welcoming you as a Westerner or a foreigner, and having a discussion with them. And I picked up some small conversations while I was there, using Google Translator and stuff. So, if you show them that you're like into their culture and you're having a great time and you love the music and stuff like that, and you know how to dance a little bit, I mean, it's, you have a good time every single night. And just like the daytime was awesome. You have so many things to do. I would, ride my bike, along the water and, through Casco and stuff like that. And there's a whole area, if you do a search on Google Maps or whatever, you can see how Panama is when you close up on it. And there's so many wonderful places to go to. There's little islands that you can travel to that I experienced as well, that you can only get to by boat. You have to fly in to a smaller airport, and you have to take a boat, a water taxi, to these little islands, about 30 or 45 minutes or an hour away. So
Oh, wow.
it's really exciting. So the lifestyle, daytime or night, sure beats what I was used to over the years. And I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, I
Yeah.
lived in Canada for over 40 years, right? And I mean, I'm not, like I would say straight up that there's no need for me to go back there anymore. Like, I mean, I'm done with that. I'm actually living now. I'm having a fantastic time, in all of these different countries. And that's what life's all about. And when you start seeing the different areas, you're like, wow, I can't believe I didn't do this 10 years ago,
Yeah. Facts,
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Guys, you have to get that passport, man. Get the experiences. Well, you only got
absolutely.
one life.
100%. Before you know it, you keep procrastinating stuff. Before you know it, you wake up and you're like, damn, where'd the last 5 years go? I remember 5 years ago, I was planning on going to Thailand, or I was planning on going to Mexico. I was planning on going to Europe. Geez, that was 5 years ago. How come I haven't gone? We get so caught up in our life and our lifestyle currently and our comfort zone that we fail to look outside of the box enough. But you have to make things happen. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I did. I was done. I had a mission. And I said to myself, there ain't no way I'm retiring at 65, working in an office, doing the same thing over and over again. Forget that. It's freedom 40-45, baby. That's what I was saying.
For
Right.
sure.
And I did it. And that was my goal. When I was 30, I was like, there ain't no way. I'm going to, if I have to work hard for the next 10, 15 years to get to the lifestyle that I want, then I will do that. And I'll meet the right people, make the right moves, have the right mindset to achieve my goals. Because I knew that once I hit my goals, and once you hit your goals, everybody, you'll be able to, the dreams come true. Because dreams are dreams. And a lot of times, we're just dreaming. It'll never come true. Well, first of all, the dreams can come true if they're reasonable enough. But if you have goals that can help you reach those dreams, whether it's goals to be more wealthier or goals for fitness or whatever the case may be, whatever you desire, you can achieve them. So mine was wealth. And in order to travel and live a lifestyle where I don't really have to work anymore, you need the wealth, obviously. You need that residual income. And then from there, I can travel around. So it took me, about almost 10 to 12 years to kind of reach those goals. And that's what I started doing in, 2019. And then COVID hit, and now I'm back out. And it's been almost a year that I've been on the road.
Man, it's always a great thing actually surrounding yourself with like-minded people as well. Actually, but elevate you to that next level.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because I surrounded myself with like-minded people, Devin. You know what I mean? Because they say, and this is true, they say if you surround yourself with 5 successful people, you will be the sixth. Like it's inevitable. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just like if you live your lifestyle and you surround yourself with 5 criminals, unfortunately you'll be the fifth. You'll be the sixth criminal. Like it's just that's how the world goes, because it's the laws of attraction. Whoever you surround yourself with, eventually you'll be able to get all of their habits. You'll learn from them, you'll get educated, and everything they do will rub off on you, and you'll make the same moves as they are, and so on and so forth. So that was my choice, was to surround myself with people that made it. Oh, he is exactly where I want to be. Oh, it took you 10 years, 15 years to get there. Good. I want to see your game plan. I want to see your recipes to success. Give me your blueprint. I want to follow it, because if you did it, I can do it. There's nothing that was different between you and me. We're both human beings. We both, had a regular job, but what moves did you make? I want to make those moves as well. Now, some of the moves weren't exactly the same, but you know what I'm saying. It's the mindset of making the same moves, and the moves have to be, they always have to be lateral. They can't be horizontal. You have to always make more moves. You can never go down. Don't make moves that'll bring you back, because then you got to start over. So, I mean, if you're going to go from here and you want to go up here, you got to make a move that'll take you here. And then maybe your next move will take you there. And then from that move, you got to go up the ladder. It's like the staircase to success, right? So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Guys, man, make sure to like and subscribe, man. Dano is dropping fantastic gems here, man, for the mindset and traveling. Get that passport, guys. You gotta have it, man.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot. There's a
Dana,
lot of things that people need to experience in life. We get old too fast. We only got one life. Who knows if we'll have another one? I mean, who knows if this is our 10th life? We don't know, because we don't remember that. You know what I mean? And who knows what's coming? After we're gone. After we pass away in this life. So you have to make the best of it. Stay positive and do everything you can. And feel free to follow me on Instagram, Dano's Lifestyle. I don't really use a Facebook that much. I like Instagram because it gives me a chance to kind of just post pictures and kind of see what I'm doing. And, you can always reach out to me and say, hey, I saw you on Devon's, live stream, the podcast there. And how do you do it? Tell
oh, did it freeze up? Oh,
There we go. I'm still here.
yeah, yeah. You're
I
back.
just saw the spinning wheel. I was like, and I checked my battery, and I'm like, no, I got full battery this time. I didn't get kicked.
Yeah, man, that's facts, man. I actually saw your Instagram. Yeah, you posted a really good lifestyle photo. It looked really nice.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. A lot of good times. It's just sometimes it's that, I'm out doing something. I'm like, wow, this would be great just to kind of show people what I'm doing, or, I feel like this is the moment where, you know, I should post a little picture, because I think a lot of times people just sit there and they look at other people's lives, and they say, wow, I'd love to kind of do what that person's doing, and that was me. Years ago, I said, wow, I'd like to do what that guy's doing, or what she's doing, or whatever. But I made things happen, right? Because there's 3 types of people, as far as I'm concerned. There's people who watch things happen, and we all watch things happen. And there's people who sit there and they wait for things to happen. But if you don't make moves, how you're just going to keep waiting. Next thing you know, you're 70 years old, and you're like, wow, where'd the last 20, 30 years go? And then there's people who make things happen, and there's people like myself and you, and probably the majority of people watching your streams and watching these videos are people who want to make things happen, and they just need that to get in that mindset, to have a little bit of extra motivation. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a couple extra vacations a year to start, not just that 1-2 weeker that you get working at your 9 to 5 job. Maybe it's finding another income stream so you can have 3 nice 2 week vacations a year, and then from there you increase your income streams, and you get more money where you can maybe take 3 months off a year. I know many people who went from working 9 to 5 jobs, and they started having these other income streams come in, and they take off, the winter, so they don't work in the winter. They take off from, like, I think it's like September, October, all the way to January, February, even 3, 4 months, and they just travel, or they go somewhere hot, and they just take their sabbatical every year, because they don't need to, because they have that other wealth coming, and then just go back to work and they live their life. So that, you can accomplish anything you want, given the right moves that you make. So for everybody watching, I mean, we're all given the same opportunities. You just got to look for those doors, and if the door's open, you just got to walk through it. You got to make things happen for yourself, right?
Sure. So Dana, I got a question for you. I know the audience definitely want to
Yeah.
know this. So how are the women over there in Casco Viejo?
The 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 Latina women are, just beautiful. They're sweethearts. They treat men, with respect, just the way, we would treat them with respect. A completely different culture, the way that they're brought up. But I mean, they're amazing. I mean, excuse me, meeting, a few, and going out on dates and stuff like that. They're just genuine heartwarming women. They love to enjoy a good time. They all love to dance, but they also love, family. They're very dedicated to families and stuff like that, and meeting, a lot of the families of a few girls that I met over there. I was like, wow, you want to invite me there? And they cook an amazing, meal with their mother and stuff like that, while I'm speaking to the father and stuff, and it's just like,
Mm,
it's just the women are just, they're awesome. They really are. Completely different, culture, just like Thailand, or just like Canada, Canadian, and European women and stuff. So it's just, it's awesome. If you're looking for, like, say for instance, you decide to retire there as a single man, you can easily find a beautiful woman and settle down with. Like, honestly, they're worth it. Yeah, they're amazing.
mm. So would you
Yeah.
say they're pretty feminine?
Absolutely, Devin. Have you seen some of these women dance salsa, man? They're very feminine. Yes, absolutely.
Mm. So how's the marriage rate over there in Casco Viejo, Panama?
Well, I know that there's more women than men, so it's probably easier to marry there and to find someone that you want to be with. And also another reason is the wages. For most locals, they don't make a lot of money, and I know that because I've spoken to not only the women, but also guys that I met over there. And so, I mean, a lot of these women, um, they love foreigners, because of the fact, not only are they wealthy, but they have good paying jobs, and they're willing to, to be with a foreign man, to potentially start a family and give their future children even, a whole different lifestyle compared to what they're used to. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There, it's a beautiful culture, but you know. It's pretty easy to marry and find someone. I think that they're willing, as long as that they find a good man, for sure. Um, but I mean, like I said, culture, family is a big deal for women in South America. So they want to find a good partner, and they're, as far as I'm concerned, I think the majority of them, a high percentage, are willing to settle down and start a family.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what kind of jobs can tourists usually get when they want to work there in Panama?
To be quite honest with you, a lot of the people who work there don't really work there. They have a business or they work online, or maybe they get into like a restaurant business or something there, or maybe they're part of real estate or something. So there's not many choices as far as getting there, and because like to get a work permit and stuff, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. So they would rather have money coming into Panama for the foreigners that want to settle down there. So if I were to settle down there and have no issues because I can open up bank accounts, I can get certain visas and stuff because all my income is online. So I'm not taking, like it's not like I'm you know making money in Panama. But the cool thing with bringing your money from outside is that if you're a business owner and you want to create a business using outside money and you want to start a business, that's awesome because now you can hire a lot of the locals and you can give back to the economy that way. So that's something that they look for, not just you being a an ordinary worker working somewhere. You follow me on that? They want to create more jobs for local people. So if you're going there, you already have a lot of stuff set up. I don't really know the specifics on getting a work permit because I've never really needed to look into it to work there. But just roaming around Punta Pacifica and Casco Viejo, I mean, it wouldn't be like even the money you would make as a local would be the same as a local. Like you're not going to get paid more because you're a foreigner. So it's always good to have that income elsewhere, right?
Definitely. I always tell my audience to make sure to actually have that money from the business or some type of asset, and then that way you actually be able to travel any place.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't want to have to rely on that, right? Working there.
Yeah. So do the women over there, well, not the women, but just the people in general, do they speak English or you
Yep.
have to learn their language?
No, a lot of them speak English. It's a second language over there, and it's been like that for years. Um, I'd probably say about I don't know half the people I've had no issues with, and there are a lot of people who are still learning, but they know the basics, just like I knew kind of basics of speaking Spanish. While in conversation, I would pick up a couple of things here or there, and stuff like that. So um, I think English is you know really getting more of a second language to most people there now moving forward. So no problem speaking with people, especially in the service industry there, like waiters, bars, bartenders, just even taxis and Uber drivers and stuff like that, or just people at front desks or in stores or in the malls. They're, 80% of them, have some sort of a fluent English going on.
Hmm. Oh, wow. So have you had any experiences with any rich people in Casco Viejo, Panama?
I've rubbed shoulders with a couple of people. I went to a few events that I was able to meet some people, that were from different countries that were looking to purchase property in Panama, and you know, they drove some fancy cars and stuff like that. So, not anybody I really, talk to regularly, but a lot of the people are into the financial markets, and they have many streams of income and different businesses and stuff like that, and looking to invest in the other country. So, but yeah, just average people that end up making a lot of money because of different businesses and stuff. So yeah, I met a couple handfuls. Yeah.
Mm. What about any negative traits people have in there?
To be quite honest with you, I never really had any issues with anybody. Um, Not really any negative traits, Devin. It's as far as I'm concerned, Panama is just on all the people. They're just so positive and happy, and it gave us the opportunity to just get along. And I wasn't worried, walking, down a back street at 1 a.m. after leaving the bar in Casco to get to an Uber or a taxi. I had no problem walking down there, so like I wasn't scared. or anything like that. I wasn't worried about anything negative happening. So yeah, there's not really anything I can tell you on that front.
So what about the religion? Is there any religions that they go by over there?
Yeah, it's like, like Catholic, Christianity and stuff like that. They have cathedrals, they have churches, with Jesus Christ and everything like that. And it was awesome because I had a chance to, visit. And that's a lot of it is in the old town, right? So you can walk through there and you can see, and now some of them are museums, but it's just absolutely beautiful. So they're all, Spanish culture. They're, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Mm. All right. So how can actually people find you? You want to get to know more about
Uh, Yeah, no, like Dano's lifestyle on Instagram is usually the place to be. You can always contact me there if you wanted to reach out and just ask me about, my lifestyle, or if you're looking at, what can I do to get started, please just reach out to me and I'll have a chat with you. I'm a real person. I'm not somebody who, is living a fake lifestyle. You know what I mean? I'm
it?
living it and I have been living it. And I would love to help others, do that. And there are some doors that I can open for anybody who wants to step out of their comfort zone and earn some extra income as well. And I know that's a whole different interview there, Devin. So we'll get into that at some point. But Instagram, Dano's lifestyle, and we'll go from there. That's the
Mm.
best way to do it.
So Dana, do you have any last words for the viewers?
Yeah, I think that's at the end of the day, kind of like what I said before. I mean, if you're watching this, you're dreaming a little bit about maybe even living a lifestyle like that I am, or maybe you want to go out to Panama, Mexico, Thailand, even, or wherever you want to go and what you want to desire, you can do it. You just need to find those doors and have someone open it for you if you're having trouble opening it yourself. So by watching this, reach out to me. I can help you. I can give you, I can point you in the right direction. I know a lot of different things that can help you earn some extra income, and but you have to have that mental mindset. Okay, don't get trapped in the same thing. And I guess I'll leave you right on this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And it's not going to happen because you're doing it over and over again. It's like a loop you just can't you can't get out of. So you got to just take a step back. You got to reevaluate what you want, what you desire in life, and you got to make it happen. So, action takers or money makers.
Well, I like that. I like that, man. And there you have it, guys. Make sure to look after yourselves from around the world, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Have a great
Thanks,
one.
Deb. Appreciate it. Later, guys. Later, everybody.